Welcome back to another episode of Doing Football. Today, some quarterbacks that could be the next Patrick Mahomes. Yep. They could do it. QB1 could be the QB1 in 2021. Before we get to that, incredible announcement. Doing Football has been worthy enough of offering a giveaway.
Yes.
Our first giveaway on the YouTube channel. So it'll be up here on the screen, but all you need to do is subscribe to the channel. We're going to be giving away a fantasy football championship belt to the winner.
Full size too.
Full size belt, yeah. No mini belts, mini helmets. We don't do any of the mini stuff. We go big. Subscribe to the channel. Send us a screenshot of your subscription to our Instagram account, the Owner's Box Instagram account, and you'll be entered to win. So make sure you do that. And then, as always, like, comment. And
it's a great prize for your home league. No?
Exactly.
Everyone loves a championship belt. Gives you more reason to brag about the win at the end of the year.
Yeah, I've never had a championship belt.
Me neither.
Yeah. If it was a full-size belt,
that'd be nice.
When I was little, I was obsessed with the WWE. I had plenty of toy belts, but never the real thing. That's probably real leather on that thing. It's a nice belt.
It's got to be good quality.
It's a nice belt. Okay. 2 quarterbacks, one from each of us. Jared, do you want to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
All right. First, I'll go off by saying this isn't the next Patrick Mahomes in terms of skill. This is Patrick Mahomes in terms of fantasy value. So this is a guy that I think has the potential to provide close to Mahomes' fantasy value, and it's Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill gets so disrespected as a talent in this league. But let me just look at some of his stats since taking over as the starter for the Titans. He's played a lot of you have probably seen this stat too. In the 24 games he's played for the Titans, he has a quarterback rating of 114 compared to Mahomes' 106. In those same games, he has 61 touchdowns versus Mahomes' 56, 10 interceptions to Mahomes' 10 interceptions, and a 67.7% completion percentage to Mahomes' 66.4. And you might say, Mahomes, he's got more rushing upside. Nope. Mahomes, 308 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tannehill, 266 yards, 7 touchdowns last year. Tannehill has put up just as good numbers as Mahomes, but yet he's barely seen as a top 10 quarterback in this league. Most people don't consider him that. Like, there's 3 quarterbacks with a PFF grade over 90 the past 2 seasons. Mahomes, Ross, Tannehill. Tannehill is among the league leaders in most stats, to be honest. And an interesting one I found was bad throw percentage. The 3 quarterbacks with the lowest in the league. Teddy Bridgewater, 13%. Drew Brees, 13.4%. Ryan Tannehill, 13.6%.
Damn. Okay, that's you have to consider the fact that the other 2 quarterbacks in that conversation, they don't push the ball downfield ever.
I was going to say the average depth of target, Teddy Bridgewater, 7.1, Drew Brees, 6.1, and then Tannehill's 8.4.
Yeah, that's impressive, man. Yeah. And seeing those, we've seen those kinds of stats thrown up you'll see it on Twitter, you see it on Instagram. Every time I see some of those numbers compared to Mahomes, I can't believe it. I read it over 2 or 3 times. Like, this is incredible. This is crazy.
He's so underrated.
And then the touchdowns too. Like, would you say 7 touchdowns on the ground?
Yeah, he has 7 rushing touchdowns.
Like Mahomes, this was a big thing when I'm considering a guy who could be at the QB1, like the QB1 could be the Patrick Mahomes. The guy you're taking, this is the biggest thing for the 2 of us is that we don't like taking quarterback in the early rounds. You have to take Mahomes in the 3rd round. Like, we're finding guys here who have Tannehill had 7 rushing touchdowns. Yeah. You need to look for players who are great passers, but as well, if they have that little bit of added value from the rushing department, then that's gravy. That's how you get your QB1. So
having Derrick Henry in the backfield there, it just opens up more potential for Tannehill to get the ball because everyone thinks Derrick Henry's going to get it. They all don't expect Tannehill to keep it.
Yeah,
and we didn't even mention Julio Jones is on this offense now. Like, there's A.J. Brown and Julio Jones on the outside.
Yeah,
how are they going to stop that? Defense is like, this guy's got so many options now, and I don't see any way. He's not a top 5 quarterback. I think he's got that potential.
Yeah, I think Tannehill's a great play, especially considering where his ADP is. Again, could be the QB1. If you're looking at 7 rushing touchdowns and if he throws for more touchdowns this year with a better receiving corps. Let me get to it's someone that's not too far down the list, but if I'm talking about rushing upside combined with the passer that he is, Dak Prescott is a slam dunk this season. He's typically going around the 5th round in your fantasy drafts. Now, in his career, you may be concerned about the injury from last season, the ankle injury from last season. In his career, Dak Prescott has averaged about 20 rushing yards a game. He'll throw on a rushing TD once every 3 games, so right around 6 rushing touchdowns a year, and then he'll add over 300 rushing yards. Mahomes usually right around 17.5, 18 yards. And he typically only adds 1 or 2 rushing scores a season. So Dak Prescott in the rushing upside definitely is at a higher level than Mahomes is. I think still will be, even with the injury. Here's the crazy part when it comes to Dak Prescott. Last season, 27 fantasy points per game in 2020 was the second most all time. Now, we're looking at a 5-game sample size, one of which he played half the game. Was a ridiculous pace on the season for sure. He did come off what was almost a 5,000-yard season in 2019. But listen to this. His 4.05% touchdown rate in those 5 games was actually below league average.
Really?
League average, 4.8%.
Wow.
So is there room to grow?
It's all in the yards.
Is there room to grow with the touchdowns, even in that 5-game sample size?
I think in that sample size, he had like a 7,000 to 8,000 yard pace going
he
as
threw
well.
for almost 2,000 yards in 5 games.
There's no way that's going to be anywhere close. He could throw for 5,000, but it's still going to take off a lot of what that pace was.
So here's the other thing too, is that when I'm building on how much I really would love to have Dak on a lot of my fantasy teams, it's the group of weapons that he has. I would say the second best group of offensive weapons between wide receiver, tight end, and running back in the entire NFL. I'd say the Bucs are one.
Yeah,
they're right there, I'd say, with number 2. And as much as I don't like Ezekiel Elliott, they really could look to use him more in a receiving role compared to, in previous seasons. The offensive line has been much better than it is now. It's a little bit older, doesn't have the same group, but he had over half of his receiving yards in the first 5 weeks with Dak, so he could be a major weapon in the receiving game with Zeke. Sharp Football has the Cowboys listed as the 7th easiest strength of schedule on the season. So again, another opportunity for the Cowboys to throw the ball all over the field. Their defense is going to be making a lot of stops, so that'll give.
I don't know about that one. Their defense was terrible last year, and they allowed so many points. But I think that's a good thing for
Isn't
Dak.
going to make a lot of stops.
Okay, I thought you said is.
Hell
okay.
no, I'm not into the Cowboys defense, especially secondary. Like there's going to be a ton of possessions for this team, and Dak's going to have plenty of passing opportunity. His deep ball completion percentage was top 3 in the NFL for the last 3 seasons now. So when he throws the ball deep, it's on target and a great chance for his receivers to get it. And now CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, I think he has all the makings of the QB1 this season. So
for sure.
One of
my favorite stats last year was that Dak Prescott and Daniel Jones had the same number of touchdowns. And they played what? And Daniel Jones played the whole season. Dak played 5 games. It's insane.
Yeah, I just can't. Daniel Jones, the walking turnover.
But yeah, Dak Prescott, he's got such high upside. Like he could be the QB1 for sure, and I definitely would not be surprised to see it happen. And like, where's he going right now? Is
fifth round,
6th round.
We took him in our FSGA Experts League, I think, in the 5th round, right? And that was a 14-teamer.
Yeah.
So. He could be the 6th maybe. I didn't even look before this, but he's definitely not
so
going
much
in the 3rd.
He's gonna have a lot of volume for sure.
Anyways, Dak Prescott, Ryan Tannehill, those are the quarterbacks you want to be taking, especially in your 1QB leagues. Tannehill's gonna be real late, but be sure subscribe to the channel. Giveaway, we're giving away a fantasy football championship belt. All you got to do, subscribe,
almost
send
the
us
2K.
a DM.
We're getting real close.
This is basically the 2K celebration giveaway. Subscribe. Like, comment, let us know. Are we crazy? I don't think I'm crazy whatsoever.
Definitely not.
So let us know your quarterbacks you might like this season, especially considering that we're looking at some QB1 upside with a lot of different guys this season. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.